Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
Hello. Oh,
Welcome to Say You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast where we don't understand Dune.
yeah. It looked very nice.
Very pretty,
Very nice.
good visuals,
Yes. Cinematically, very nice.
cinematically 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Plot, I'm gonna need someone to explain it to me in simple terms,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Give me the girly version. Like, just give me the straight tea about
Yeah,
what's going on.
from
And
because from what I saw, my understanding was he's like from this rich family that's based off of like slave labor. Um,
yes.
and
Yes.
then there's like a hostile takeover or something. Father gets killed. R.I.P. Oscar Isaac.
We love
Um,
you.
and
There's
then
magic involved
there's
and
magic.
superpowers. I'm
Yeah.
I'm unsure.
And then I don't know if his mother is dead or not. I was confused on that
I thought his
because
mom is alive.
is she?
I thought so.
I thought he was just like having like that like magic dream thingy that he has.
No, I think she's alive.
She's okay. Like I said, and then there's a bunch of stuff that happens in the middle that I have no idea what's happening. And then at the end, they come upon like these native people who were white for some reason, and
Yeah.
and Zendaya,
And Zendaya,
and
yes.
Zendaya, and then he wrestles with one of them, and then loses, and then wins, and then the movie ends, and I don't
Yeah.
understand what happened.
Yeah. I think he's accepted into their little clan thing because of
Mm-hmm.
like respect or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Which,
and then
by the
they're
way,
walking up.
why do you have to gain their respect by fighting to the death?
Yeah.
It could just be a fight. It had to be a fight to
Yeah.
the death. I was like, what?
I know because why would you accept somebody who's just killed one of your kinsmen?
Right?
I might be built different, but I'd rather you like disarm my homie rather than kill them straight out.
Yeah, don't kill my best friend.
Yeah,
That's not
no.
necessary.
Yeah, everyone was so chill about it. Can't be
Yeah.
me.
They were actually ecstatic. They were like, yay, you're the chosen one or whatever. And I was
Yeah,
like, "Uh, sure.
yeah. Also, is this Harry Potter? What's with the chosen one?
Yeah. I thought we left those back in the 2010s.
Yeah, I thought we left chosen people in the dystopian worlds that we created in 2010.
Yeah, we can stop with that.
Yeah.
But there is a new Hunger Games movie coming out, and I will be seated. Sorry.
What?
Sorry, I
There's a
will.
new one coming out?
Yeah, they're making a movie off of the that book that no one read, the Ballad of Birds or whatever the hell it
Oh,
was
yeah, I
called.
didn't read I didn't read that.
No one read it, Kelly. No one cares about President
I love
Snow's origin story. No
no,
one read
no.
that, but I will watch the movie.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Oh, well, Kelly, how was your week?
It was actually pretty hectic. I was really busy this week. I got invited last minute to a Giants game on Wednesday, like maybe less than 24 hours beforehand. And
I
of course
love
I
how
said
that's last
yes.
minute for you.
Well, yeah, I need at
I
least
was thinking like an hour before the
no,
game
no, 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 no,
started.
no,
Someone was like,
no.
"Hey, I have these tickets. Can you come with me?"
No, 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 no. I need at least a 3-day minimum advance.
Oh my gosh, Kelly.
If it's 1 day in advance, I'll freak out. I will 50-50 say yes or no. But yeah, I said yes to the Giants tickets. We lost.
When do we win anymore?
I mean,
uh,
we're
uh, uh,
we're
uh.
we were in first for a couple of games. I think we might be in second now. But anyway, I got a foul ball though.
Yay.
I'm so excited. It was a
She
foul
didn't get
ball.
it. She's lying. Her brother caught it.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. I made to go for it and then it bounced out of my way into him. So, but he gave it to me. Yes. I ended
Yeah.
up on TV, which is let's go. Um But yeah, that was really cool. Not cool that we lost though. That was rough because we were playing the A's. So that was rough.
Bad for them. Yeah.
Bad for yeah. Um but yeah, I've just been like super busy this week. I had a lot of like just errands to do for some reason. And then I have terrible memory first off. So like I'd make Target trips and then I'd get home and then I'd like go be putting stuff away and they'd be like, oh, crap, I forgot something at the store. I'll do it tomorrow.
Don't know why you didn't make a list at that point.
You know what? I try to make lists and then I forget that they're in my notes app. To be honest. Yeah.
One day we will get you the help you need.
Yeah.
But like I
clearly need it.
I can't sit here and judge you like I have the best bit. We all know I have a terrible memory.
Yeah. Two people with terrible memories just talking to one another right now.
Yeah. We complete us together, we make a brain. Like
yeah. There's one brain cell between two of us. Yeah. And I think he had it this week because I was just unhinged and my brain was like, we're not working today or any day this week. So yeah. I'm glad you got the brain cell.
Yeah. I needed it. So
yeah, you did. Yes, that was me. Can I have the brain cell next week though?
Yeah. I don't have anything to do for 2 weeks. Okay. So you go ahead. Go. You take the brain cell. I'm done.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And what happened with you, Jordan?
So I watched Sky High for the first time since like middle school. And I have some thoughts.
Yes.
Some big brain thoughts because I had the brain cell.
Yes.
What exactly, like I know what the plan was, but Pacifier Man or whatever the hell those supervillains name was, how were you going to raise like 200 babies?
Yeah.
Just you and your sidekick were going to raise like 200 babies.
That plan was not thought out.
And then I'm lost.
Okay.
Because spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this movie that came out like 17 years ago, but major pacifier baby man is Gwen. I still don't remember what her fucking supervillain name was. Like it just kept evading me every time. Did she have her memories from when she was older and she just kept them when she got turned into a baby? Or did her like sidekick man like give her like a blow by blow play of like what happened? In which case, why was he still letting her control him? Like you raised her. Like I was so confused. Like because she seemed to remember things like she remembered it, not like she was told.
Yes.
Like she seemed to like remember things. So I was very confused. I was like, what's the point of this then?
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest.
I was so confused. But I was like, okay, cool. Whatever. It was cute. Yeah. It was a cute little movie.
Yeah. They did their best.
We'll definitely watch again one day. Love it.
Yes.
Some very iconic people in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, wow.
Like, y'all really went off with the cast, and good for you.
They did. I also do have another quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they accidentally switched some babies on that set? There were so many babies. Do you think someone accidentally went home with the wrong baby? I
don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
How did they keep count? Like, how did they like, this is your baby? Like, how did they do it? Did they have like special like baby wranglers? And then like they had to like keep their eyes focused on their baby?
They had little like bracelets on their ankles.
Yeah, like a hospital. Oh my god.
Yes.
They had those little hospital bracelets that beep if you go too far. Yeah, probably.
A baby house arrest.
Yes.
They had a perimeter set up. It was pretty small, but they
Yeah.
knew if any of them left the circle.
Anytime they heard a beep, everyone had to like lock everything down.
Yeah. They're like, baby alert, baby alert. Everyone stop.
Code pink, code pink. Okay, and
I
then
could believe that.
also, um, I'm seeing Multiverse of Madness in 3 days. I
I'm so
can't wait.
excited.
Thursday at 3 p.m. I'm seeing Wanda murder some people.
Okay, so you're seeing it before I am, a couple of hours before I am, so you cannot text me until I've seen it.
I was going to see it on Friday.
Okay.
But then something told me to go in the Cinemark app. Something told me to, and I did. And then I was like, Thursday, 3:00. I don't have anything to do. I was like, that's the earliest showing. I will be there. Like everybody else will be at work. I will be there.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm not seeing it at 3. I gotta be at work.
I'm so excited.
I am excited, but also terrified because there's only 2 hours.
Right? I
am terrified.
I want another hour. Give me another hour.
Yeah. I need at least like the minimum 30 minutes extra.
Yeah.
Because this is a Doctor Strange movie and they're bringing in the multiverse. Like I can't 2 hours including the beginning and the post credits. Like no.
I actually don't even want Doctor Strange in this movie. This is a Wanda movie to me. I don't care about Doctor Strange.
This is WandaVision Part 2.
This is WandaVision Season 2.
Yeah.
Which I almost rewatched, and I had to stop myself because I've already rewatched that show twice. Yeah. So I watched What If instead.
Yeah, I think What If is a better option anyway because Captain Carter's in it, and then they have Zombie Strange and everything.
I feel like Captain Carter's going.
She's gonna eat it.
She's gonna die, but that's fine. I don't care.
I don't think people from other verses are gonna die.
I think they are, Kelly. I think and I also think Wong is gonna go. I'm calling it right now.
Really?
Wong is dying. I can feel it in my soul.
I mean, he's not doing anything as the Supreme Leader. He's not, anyway.
And we need Doctor Strange to become the Supreme again. And I feel like the only way that's gonna happen is if Wong dies. So
yes.
R.I.P. Wong. You had some great moments.
I know.
But overall, you just kept running away when there was problems. So we need someone.
Yeah, and then you were fighting in Shang-Chi. Like, you're the Supreme Leader, bro. You're supposed to be watching over this universe.
New York City was in hell. And he was.
And then you have the audacity to be mad at Strange for trying to help out Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Where were you?
Where were you? The Tilda Swinton would never have done this.
She would not.
She was on top of her shit at all times.
Exactly. Like, bro.
So yeah, very excited. Very excited. You know what else I'm excited to talk about?
What are you excited
I'm excited to talk about Deep Blue Sea. If you're new to this podcast, I love shark movies. I do. I love a shark movie, no matter how terrible they are, and most of them are terrible.
Oh yeah.
And it's only shark movies. I've tried other movies. Like I do not care about Anaconda. I've only ever seen the first one. I don't care about the other ones. I watched a alligator movie called Crawl on Hulu.
Alligators?
Maybe it was crocodiles. I don't know. I don't know the difference between the two.
Me neither.
But it didn't scratch the same itch that a shark movie does for me. I can't explain it. But let's get into it. So our movie starts off with two couples partying on a boat in the middle of the ocean. Would never be me. No. When their boat is attacked by a shark and they all fall into the water.
How they did it, I don't know.
I don't know either. How they fell in made absolute, like, two of them were literally laying on the boat and then two of them were standing. And I get how the guy I kind of get it. Yeah, it's a stretch, but I kind of get it. And then I guess he like pushes the girl next to him in, but I don't know how the two that were laying on the boat fell in.
I had to rewatch it because I was just like so in awe. And the couple that was standing, the girl that was with him, he literally drags her into the water. Because when he's falling, he does the most dramatic like fall over ever. He literally like throws his arms out, and that's what hits her. He hits her in the shoulder, and then she like stumbles, and then she falls into the water.
But how did
But
the
it
other
still
couple
doesn't
get
make
in?
sense.
But how did the other
I don't
couple get in the
know.
water?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, cool. And so before the shark is able to attack them, they are saved by Carter Blake, a shark wrangler.
Ooh.
We then cut to some city, never know what city this is,
No.
where marine biologist, I think she's a marine biologist, Dr.
She's something.
Dr. Susan McAllister explains to investors that a test shark escaped the facility, but they caught it, and they're very close in their Alzheimer's research, so they can't cut their funding. One of the executives, Russell Franklin, tells her that they've spent too much money and that this headline will worsen their stock price, so they're going to have to close the facility.
Makes sense.
Susan, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. But then Susan's like, give me until Monday to get results, which I'm like, that's not how science works.
It's not. y'all got testing to do. You got to make sure that stuff is safe, especially for humans. Come on now.
Yeah. I was like, even if it works in the sharks, that don't mean it's going to work in humans, but whatever.
Right.
And so Susan asked for her Monday, and Russell's like, sure, and I'll come with you for some reason.
Yeah.
They arrive to the underwater lab, which is really giving like Waterworld vibes.
It is, isn't it?
Which, by the way, don't ever watch that movie. It's movie? Awful. Waterworld.
Oh, Waterworld, yes.
Don't watch it. Do watch the stage show at Universal Studios Hollywood, but do not watch the movie. Okay, cool. We're then introduced to marine biologist Janice Higgins before Russell notices Carter swimming with a shark and thinks he's about to be eaten. But Carter is just getting a license plate out of its mouth and decided to do it in the water for some reason.
This man has a death wish.
He really does.
He really just wants to be taken out by the sharks.
Yeah, he's like, how can I risk my life today?
Right. But make it look like I'm working.
Yeah. I love workers' comp. I really need some workers' comp. And so Russell is then given a tour of the above ground facility and is shown 3 test sharks right as most of the crew is leaving for the weekend. They say they're going home, but like they're in like the middle of the ocean. Like, where are they going? Why are they leaving?
Right. Like at that point, you're gonna waste most of your Friday getting home.
Yeah. But they do it. We then cut to Carter, and he's asking one of the other wranglers, Tom Scogins, if he left the cage open. And he's like, no, I didn't leave the cage open. Like, I'm not dumb. Like, I'm not gonna leave the cage open. Inside the facility, aptly named Aquatica. Love that.
Yes, love that.
Love that for them. Susan is conversing with her colleague, Dr. Jim Whitlock, about skipping trials and just going with their formula because of the time restraints.
No. Absolutely not.
He's like, hey, we still have like a couple of trials to do. She's like, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. She's not like, I need this to work.
Yeah,
this is my life's work.
Yeah, and we never know why she's so passionate about this. I mean, they kind of give us an answer, but it's
not.
I
was about to say.
But it's not enough for how passionate she is about. Like, you would think that someone in her family was personally affected, or she had like early onset Alzheimer's or something. But she's like, no,
she does.
She does.
Did you not listen in the beginning?
She has it?
No, her dad.
Really?
Yes. Did we watch two separate movies?
I've watched this movie like 5 times and I've literally never noticed that. What?
Yeah. When she's in the office at the beginning of the investors. When they're trying to shut her down, she's all like, you don't understand like the hurt I have to go through every time I had to explain to my dad whenever he asked
She
where my
did say
mom
that, didn't
is.
she?
Right, where she is,
Okay.
and I have to tell him that she's dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So her dad was affected. I
That
don't know
makes
if
that makes a little bit more sense, but still,
you know what? She probably secretly has it, like an onset or something.
probably. That's what I'm going for. She
It makes sense.
she has early onset dementia or something like that. I got you, Susan.
Alzheimer's.
All what?
I don't know.
Alzheimer's?
We're moving.
Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
Just
there you go, sweetie.
I have something.
Yep.
We're moving on.
Yes, we are. We then cut to the kitchen where we see the facility chef Preach fighting with his parrot that constantly insults him before we see Carter go back into the cage for feeding time.
He's my favorite character, by the way.
Preach or the parrot?
Preach.
Okay. Meanwhile, Susan gets called up top for a celebration for her birthday, and Carter flirts with her. And we learn from Janice and Jim that they chose sharks to experiment on because they don't lose brain function as they age and are using a protein to improve their brain function. And that terrible idea. And that they only use the protein to improve their brain function and not to enlarge in their brains, which is something that can happen.
I didn't know that was possible.
And don't our heads only have like a finite amount of space?
Right.
So like
right.
Whatever.
Also, they said that they're not like genetically modifying anything, and that's why they're not like enlarging the brain or whatever. And I'm just like, that's a lot of science talk or quote unquote science talk. And I don't know if any of that makes sense.
It didn't, but we're going to keep going. And so we got back to Carter, and he tells Susan of his worries because the sharks will only eat other sharks, and they're hunting in packs, which sharks don't do, apparently, even though I've seen sharks all engage on one thing and eat it at the same time. I don't
know if that counts as pack hunting, though.
Were they?
I think pack hunting is more organized.
Were they organized? Literally, one attacked the dead shark, and then the other two ate it as well. I don't think that was pack hunting.
Later in the movie, it kind of like when they're coordinated.
Was it really? Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, and so she's like, "Shut the fuck up, or I'll fire you." Because
that's literally her answer to everything.
Yeah, because you have a criminal background that we know nothing about and we'll never know anything about.
No.
But they bring it up twice, so you think they will mention it.
They would say something, right. They're like, "What a criminal," and we're like, "Criminal of what?
Criminal? What did you do?"
Yeah,
we'll never know.
Yeah, did you shoplift, or is it the other extreme where you're like you committed war crimes?
Right? Did you murder someone?
Right. Like, are you being monitored by the FBI, or are you just like, do you have a parole officer and you check in like every Tuesday? Like,
right. Were you a poacher? Is that why you know so much about sharks? Like, what's going on? We'll never know. The next morning, a storm comes in right as they are going to start the injection of the protein, and Carter goes into the lagoon to capture a shark. While he's down there, the sharks see Carter with the gun, and they all swim backwards and take out the underwater cameras.
Also, they say sharks can't swim backwards. Is that true?
I thought that was true. I may have learned that from this movie, but I thought that was true.
I feel like that's one of those facts that like sound true, but I don't know is true.
Like, yeah,
I'm not gonna fact check it, but it's
like,
just
is it
it's
true that if they
interesting.
stop swimming that they die? Like, is that a fact or is
Right.
that myth?
We need
We
answers.
could look that up, but we're too
Yeah,
lazy.
we're not. You know what? I'll do it.
Okay,
Just
good. Thank
keep
you.
talking.
And so to get closer to the sharks, Carter gets out of his protective cage and tricks the shark into like going after him and tranks it and brings it into the lab.
How this man can outswim a shark is
Oh, it happens a lot.
it
It
does.
happens a lot in this movie.
Oh.
What?
Um they cannot swim backwards.
Good to know.
And apparently if you pull them by the tail backwards, it will die.
What? Doesn't make any sense. Okay.
That sounds so fake.
Good to know, I guess. Not that I'm ever in ocean water deep enough for a shark to be there, but like,
Right. Or strong enough to drag a shark backwards and kill it that way.
right? Am I supposed to somehow get behind this shark and then pull it?
Oh. Oh, it says the gills. If they swim backwards or if they're pulled backwards, they're literally drowning.
Oh, so these sharks should be dead. Got it.
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I completely lost where I was.
Sorry.
There we
The
go.
more you know.
After the shark gets into the lab, Susan and Jim give the shark the protein, and it's successful before the shark starts thrashing violently and bites off Jim's arm. Carter goes to shoot the shark, but Susan releases it back into the lagoon.
Bro, I was so mad.
Like, why she did that, I will never know.
Like, I know why she did it,
I
but
don't.
that's so selfish.
I like you have the data. Like you didn't need to keep the shark. Like
You didn't.
I don't know why she did that. She was dumb as fuck for doing that.
Uh,
And so a helicopter is called and they take Jim up top where waves, wind, and rain are going crazy. And they get Jim attached to the helicopter, which pulls him up. And they try to bring him up by the line, but the line gets stuck. And
and we
then
don't know why.
we don't know why.
It just stops.
It just stops working. And then a lot happens here. A lot. Like,
Oh yeah.
literally a lot. The plane crashes into like the tower.
Fuel. I thought they crashed into the fuel tanks.
Did they?
Yeah.
I thought they crashed.
Well, first off,
into the tower.
They drop what's his name into the water.
Yes.
Because the line won't come up. And I think they crash into the fuel thing because it explodes and then it hits the tower and then she dies.
Oh.
That's how I took it.
Yeah. So
the camera angles in this scene, they're everywhere.
Everywhere. So let me start over blow by blow.
Yeah.
Line gets stuck. Somehow it reverses.
Yeah.
And then he ends up in the lagoon.
Yes.
One of the sharks grabs onto him and like pushes it into we're gonna settle on the fuel tanks because a lot happens.
Yeah.
Causing an explosion which takes out the like radio tower. And then whole facility goes shaky. Cool. And so this also causes the whole system of the facility to shut down.
Yes.
Then a shark somehow cuts the line off of Jim.
Yeah.
And throws him towards the lab's window, underwater facility window. And this is able to crack it, which scares me.
Yeah. Like, they did not put the right glass
no
or whatever was needed.
Because look, I know that sharks can swim pretty fast, but like he's a human being and he was on a gurney. Like the drag would have slowed him down. Like he would not have gone fast at all.
No. Also the fact that he's alive for all of this and not drowned at some point.
I think he's attached to like an air thingy.
Yeah, but those things aren't like skin tight. It's like one of those things that you like put over your ears. That's what I thought. It looked like to me. So water could have come in.
It
No?
sure. It doesn't matter. He's
What?
gonna die anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so glass cracks. Everybody's like, let's get the fuck out of here. Jan is crying because apparently they're like dating or something.
Yeah.
Even
I
though
don't know.
even though he looks like 20 years older than her.
Oh yeah, he looks like her father.
Um and so Russell has to like literally drag her out right before the glass
Yeah, everyone
cracks.
was moving so slow.
They were.
Like a big chunk of glass falls right at their feet and they're still standing
Yeah,
there.
they're like, they start slowly backing up. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
run,
Right.
run. And so yeah, all the seawater starts coming in way too slowly. Like
Mm-hmm.
way too like it starts like pouring in like a fountain. And I'm like, no, it would have been like an instant wall of
Yeah.
water.
Yeah. Because water is strong.
Yeah.
And they're how many feet below like the whatever?
I don't know if they're at the bottom because I remember they said that the bottom was like 200 and something feet below water,
Okay.
but I don't know
Okay.
where they are. So
Yeah, because I kept when they say like how far underneath they are, I'm like, it doesn't it seems like you're lower down.
yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
So yeah, and they barely make it out of the room and like do like the airlock door thingy.
Yeah, they close a door that's being pushed by water, by the
Yeah,
way. They do this multiple times and it
multiple
makes me so
times,
angry.
so
So
much.
angry.
Three human beings are able to feed the
Yes.
force of water.
Right.
Meanwhile, Preach is in the kitchen, completely unaware of what just
Oh
happened.
yeah. He's just vibing.
Yeah, and then he just starts seeing like water like leaking out of places, and the facility is like shaking, and he's just like,
Mhm.
"That's
Whatever.
weird,"
Yeah.
and like calls like the tower and is like, "What's going on?" But no one answers.
And that doesn't freak him out.
Yeah, and then he starts hearing some rumbling. He walks near some stairs, and like a shit ton of water comes down and just
Yeah.
pushes him down the hall. So we go back to the group, and they barely made it out of their level, whatever level they were in.
Yeah.
As it begins to flood and sharks start to make their way into the facility.
Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, back to Preach. He's looking for his bird.
This man is dedicated to the bird.
Like he's like looking for his like he's like
Yeah.
here bird like in freezing cold water
Yeah.
looking for a bird
He's not concerned that the facility
is
is,
flooding.
going under. Yeah. He needs to find the bird
He
first.
needs to find the bird. We go back to the group, and Russell realizes that the sharks are coming after them and asks Susan what she did to them. And she reveals that they violated the Harvard Compact, which is not a real thing. I looked it up.
Oh.
And in large, like I literally looked it up. I was like, Harvard Compact. And like literally just stuff about this movie came up. And then like Harvard articles came up. And I was like,
Yeah.
so there's no such thing. Cool. Yeah, so she violated that. She enlarged her brains to be able to take in a significant amount of the protein. In which case, I'm like, why didn't you just use a different animal?
Yeah. Also, how come none of the other like scientists or whatever saw that? Because they were taking scans.
I I think it's implied that Dr. Jim may have known,
Oh well. Okay.
but for everyone else, who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
Janice didn't seem to know, and she was a
Yeah.
biologist. So I was like,
Yeah.
but I feel like Dr. Jim would have had to have known. Like he worked in the office, he
Yeah.
worked in the lab with
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so she's like, yeah, so a side effect of that is they're smarter.
A lot smarter.
And I was like, cool. And then you
Yeah,
just
right.
added like a shit ton more to this big one.
Yes.
So we're fucking screwed, right? Yeah,
Exactly. And she's not freaked out
not at
by
all.
this. She's just like, oh yeah, I enlarged their brain and they're hunting us down now. And no, and she's like so blasé about it.
She is. She's so calm.
Yeah. Like, dude, you should be freaking out right now because you especially know how smart they are.
Yeah. And so after all that, we go back to Preach. He's still looking for that damn bird. When
Yeah.
he is chased down by a shark and is able to outrun slash swim it
Yes,
and
he's
hide in the
able to.
kitchen.
Yeah, he outsmarts it too.
Yes.
Like the shark looks at the kitchen where he goes in and he's like, nah, he went down the hall.
He went this way.
Those were the dumber sharks. They weren't
Yeah.
as smart as
Yeah.
the Gen 1.
Yeah. Yeah. The Generation 1 is the smart one.
Yes.
The other two, they have some intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Not as much, but it's
not
there.
as much, but it's there. And so Preach climbs a shelf to get out of the water, and his bird flies down into a pot in the water. And so he goes to try to get the bird, but the shark comes back in, eats the bird, knocks Preach off of the shelf. R.I.P. bird.
R.I.P.
And so Preach then somehow gets into an oven.
Yeah.
Like
that would freak me out.
He like swims across the kitchen and goes into an oven, which the shark then turns on.
Yeah, somehow he turns the oven on.
And so Preach uses an axe that he grabbed earlier to like cut a hole in the top and get out.
Yeah.
And this oven is a gas oven somehow, even though they're underwater.
Yeah.
And so he jumps back into the water while the shark is still trying to get into the oven and throws a lighter, causing an explosion that kills the shark. Yay.
Yay.
Back at our main group, they make it to the room where a small sub is and like a little pool, and the sub is broken. And so Russell comes up with the idea of putting on scuba gear and swimming to the surface. But Tom tells him they can't outswim sharks. Which, like, shocker.
Right.
He's like,
but also y'all have been doing it since the beginning of this movie.
At this point in the movie, we have like a layman's understanding of where we are. He's like, we're like 80 feet from the top.
Yeah. They kept saying like 80 or 60 feet from the top.
Yeah, it was always 80 or 60. No matter how far up or down they went, it was always 80 or 60.
Yeah. So at one point they're like, yeah, we're still 60 feet. I'm like, y'all just went up like 3 levels.
They went up so far, like
y'all should be at least 40.
Like they're going to go up a lot in a minute, and at the end of the movie they go up 60 feet. So just remember that. Yeah. And so Tom is like, there's this maintenance ladder we can use instead. Yeah. He's like, only downside is if we open it, it could pressurize this room, causing this pool to explode into this room. And then if that happens, then all the water that will come in will make this building unstructurally sound. And if too much water comes in, then the building will collapse in on itself.
Yeah, it'll crumple. Yeah.
And so they're in between a rock and a hard place. Yes. Everybody's like, what the fuck did we do?
Right. One way is death and the other is death. So.
Yeah. And so while everyone's fighting, Russell gets upset. He gives this empowering speech about how he was stuck in an avalanche and how 7 people went up there and only 5 people made it back. And
it implies they were murdered.
Yeah. And we never touch on that.
No, we don't. Yeah. It's implied that they like murdered 2 people for some unknown reason.
They probably ate them, Kelly.
They probably did.
Because he said something along the lines of, we all promised when we got back down that we wouldn't mention what happened.
Yeah.
But 7 people went up, 5 people came down. I'm just like,
and he's like, it wasn't from the avalanche, and we're all like,
So you ate 2 people, sir?
Right. Like y'all got angry with one another and just murdered, and then you were like, oh, free food.
Which is why you will never catch me mountain climbing. Like, never. Hikes are good enough for me.
I mean, Preach said something about that in the beginning of the movie.
Because Black people don't do that shit, Kelly. I don't know what happens to Black people when they get rich, but they go crazy. No,
Y'all want to scale
don't
mountains
try to
and
assimilate with white people. Do you know, like a couple of people a year die on Mount Everest? I'm not doing that shit ever. I don't want to do that shit. So yeah, no.
I'll stay to my like 3 mile hikes in the mountains.
Yep. Where I still have cell reception.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yes. You're not going to catch me on the 4 o'clock news lost in the woods somewhere, or
Absolutely not.
or in a frozen tundra. I go to
Mm-mm.
Tahoe and we stop on the side of the road and like sled on the side of the road. Like we don't go in the middle
Yeah.
of the forest. Like that's not
Mm-mm.
happening. Would never be me. Yeah, and so Russell's like, we can do this. We're gonna seal off this pool, and then immediately a shark jumps up and eats
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Like he doesn't even get
it
to finish
was
his plan.
it was so uncalled for too.
It was hilarious. And so yeah, after everyone sees him get eaten, they decide to go through the maintenance ladder.
Yeah, as they should.
And when they open it, immediately the pool is no longer pressurized
Yeah,
and
it's not.
it starts spraying into the room. Tom and Carter are able to seal the door.
They're fighting water, but
Yeah,
it's fine.
and this stops the water from rising. And
Mhm.
so they start climbing the ladder to the first floor. I believe that's where they're going.
Yeah.
And so a shark starts to break the door down. So Carter goes down to open level two's door so that some of the water can go in there and slow down the rising of the water.
I am convinced Carter has superpowers.
Has to.
Because he literally opens a sealed door with a knife and his bare
A,
hands.
a sealed pressurized door
Mm-hmm.
with a
With
knife
like a 4-inch knife and his bare hands.
in his bare hands. And then when he started opening it and like a whole bunch of water started coming out, I was like, so it's flooded, stop. But it wasn't.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Like some of y'all forgot like some plot points while
Yeah,
y'all were
because
filming this.
literally so much water came out, and I was like, this floor has to be flooded.
Right, because it was literally going over his head. That's how much water was in there.
And it wasn't. It was like whatever.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he gets the door open, and like it barely helps. It may even have made it worse.
I think it made it worse
because now, like the like supports of the rig between them start to fail.
Yeah, you could see them start bending, dude.
Yeah, they start bending, and then the ladder that they are climbing up breaks, which it broke so easily. I was like, did they not maintain this?
Right. It like it was like the bolts it was like using to keep it on the wall like rusted out or something, because it just flopped.
It just fell over, and it wasn't even that much shaking. It just fell over. Yeah, and so this causes Janice to fall into the water. Carter tries to help her, but she's killed by a shark.
Of course.
And they are too low to get to level 1. So they just feel defeated and they're like, we're going to get killed.
Yeah, they literally accepted death.
Luckily, Preach opens level doors 1 for doors. Door for some reason, and he like helps them out.
Yeah, he's all casual too. He opens it, he looks down. Hey guys.
Like, hey guys. What are you doing here?
Right.
You want to get out of here? I kind of wanted to go get some pizza.
Yeah, I'm a little hungry. How about y'all?
Yeah. Also, this ocean water is not doing well for my skin. I was thinking of a spa treatment. And so yeah, as the facility begins to crumble under the weight of all the water, they come up with a plan to drain one of the stairwells or something like that and go. And so they go looking through people's cabins for like flashlights and stuff like that. And so while they're in Susan's cabin, not Susan. What's her name? Janice's Kevin.
Yeah, Janice, not Susan.
Susan starts to feel remorseful, finally,
Finally. Well,
for her part in all of this.
yeah, and it lasts about like 20 seconds.
Yep. And so after that, Carter and Tom go to drain the stairwell while Susan goes to her cabin slash lab to get the research data. She's like, if I don't get this data, everyone died for nothing. And I'm like, they still died for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you did not need to make these sharks smarter.
You didn't.
You couldn't have
also,
done this.
You broke the rules anyway, so.
Yeah.
You can't technically use your research.
You can't use this research.
Exactly, because they're going to grill you about it.
Like, literally any, like, the FDA or whatever is going to look back at your research and be like, why are their brains so big? And then you're going to have to explain why their brains are so big. And then they're going to be like, we can't use this.
Yeah, they're going to ask you to recreate the conditions.
Yes.
So that they can see what's going on. And then they'll see the enlarged brain and be like, absolutely not.
It's like she forgot the scientific method. It's like, come on, think, Susan, think.
Right.
But either way, she goes for this fucking data.
Yeah. Preach was not about to stop her. He's like, okay.
He was like, do whatever you want, white woman.
Yeah, he's like, I'm staying right here.
I'm staying right here where it's nice and dry. Mm-hmm. And so Preach takes Janice's video camera. Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I say video camera, and that sounds very old. And that's what it is, because it's old.
Yeah.
And he leaves a message in case he dies, and it's how to make a perfect omelet.
I love that for him. He's like, this is my last wish. I'm going to teach y'all how to make an omelet.
Right. He was like, I've been through so many trials and tribulations, and I just want to leave you with an insightful thought. This is how you make a perfect omelet. Yeah. You use 3 eggs, some butter. I was like, you don't have any family you want to say goodbye to?
Right. He's so pressed about people making omelets wrong that his last words are about how to make the best one.
He's like, y'all bitches can't cook.
He's like, and it makes me mad.
He's like, if there's one thing I want from this all to happen, it's for y'all to get some fucking sense.
It's like, y'all need to use some spices. Y'all need to get your shit together and cook a freaking omelet correctly.
Play this on the news. Everyone needs to know.
Yeah.
And so Carter and Tom are able to successfully drain the stairs or whatever they were doing. I was kind of lost. Because they never actually go up any stairs. So I was like...
Yeah, they're like in one of the facilities.
Yeah, didn't make sense. But Tom is eaten by a shark directly after.
Oh, yeah.
And Carter narrowly escapes. Susan makes her way to her cabin, which is partially underwater, and she's able to grab the data before she is attacked by a shark. She climbs onto furniture and drops the data into the water.
All of it was for nothing.
Oh, we're not even there yet. Mm-hmm. She then uses her wetsuit for protection underneath her feet and uses a light fixture to electrocute the shark. And this somehow burns up the data.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
Yeah.
Also, she like undoes the thing, puts the like electricity into the water, and then right after immediately gets into the water.
Yeah. When I saw her pull the thing off the wall, I was like, she's gonna electrify the water. But like at the same time, I'm like, girl, you're soaking wet.
You're soaking wet.
You're right by the water.
Like I get your setting on a wetsuit, but like, girl.
Yeah, no.
That's
I wouldn't.
That's a huge gamble.
Yeah.
That's a huge gamble. And so yeah, no data for Susan. Carter and Preach come get Susan, and they make their way to an airlock and swim up out of the airlock to survive, while using like colorful vests and fire extinguishers as a distraction for the sharks.
Because apparently they like
for the
colors.
Shark. There's only one shark left.
Oh yeah, there's only one shark.
Yeah, they like colors and bubbles, like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 3 of them make it to the surface. but Preach is attacked by the shark.
I was so sad.
And so Carter and Susan swim to the surface while Preach stabs the shark with his cross necklace, and it lets him go. So Carter goes back in to save Preach, and they make it to the platform. Carter then realizes that the sharks have been using them to sink the facility so that they can get out into the ocean, which I got a little problem with that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the like net, not, I want to say net, that's not what I meant, fence, wouldn't the fence be all the way down to the bottom?
It should be.
So how was it able to sink? And apparently the fence at the bottom was titanium.
Yeah.
But at the top, for some reason, they just used
regular chain link.
Fence.
Like, also, how did they, like, what's his name was describing it as like a net of titanium? And I'm like, how can titanium act like a net?
I think that was just his way of saying the bottom of the fence was made out of titanium.
Okay. Yeah, because that always confused me. I'm like, what the?
Which I'm still lost as to why they didn't make the entire thing out of titanium. But
right. Also, the fact that like when Carter asked if the sharks could jump out of the, like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, but adding like 2 feet to it, because he's all like, did you raise the fence, like, you know, later on in the movie? I'm like, what, did you raise it 2 feet thinking that would stop them if they're able to make a 8-foot hop? Bro, kill those sharks.
How about we just don't experiment on sharks anymore?
Yeah, what if we just don't experiment on dangerous animals?
Let's just never do that. Okay, cool.
Thanks.
And so, yeah, they notice that the shark is like ramming into the fence so that it could get out.
Yeah.
And so they decide they have to kill it, finally. And so they plan to fill a spear with like flare gun cartridges, dust, whatever.
Yeah.
And explode the shark. But it's too far away. So Susan sacrifices herself and jumps into the water after cutting her hand.
She should.
Here's the thing. I don't even think she should have. I very well think they all could have lived. Susan was dumb as fuck.
Well,
like, sure, I get the shark at this point was smart enough to know that if you just like cut your hand and let the blood drip, like it wouldn't have come. But she could have like gone to a part where she would have been able to like get back on and just went in for a while, swam, let it start coming towards her, and then got out. She didn't have to jump off of this high ledge that she could not get back onto.
Nope.
And
also the fact that she didn't just, find a place that she could like get in and get out.
Yeah.
Also, why can't she just like
put her hand in
herself, put her hand in, wait, and then just start running?
Okay, I don't know. She wasn't thinking until she was.
I don't think she ever did.
Until she was in the water. And then she was like, "Wait, I don't want to die."
Too late.
Too late. And so yeah, she tries to get out, but can't, and so she gets killed.
Bye,
and
Susan.
Carter jumps in after her, even though he's the one with the fucking spear. Like he was supposed to shoot the shark.
Exactly.
And he instead puts it down and jumps in to try to save Susan, even though Susan is like 50 feet away from him, and that shark is going to get her. And so now the shark goes after Carter. And then he like parkours underwater and ends up on the shark's back.
Yeah.
Which made no sense. And meanwhile, Preach wakes up after being unconscious.
Yay!
And he shoots the shark in like its dorsal fin. But this also like bites him in the ass because like he also catches like Carter's leg or something.
Yeah.
So Carter is attached. And so Carter's just like, kill it. I don't care. Just fucking kill it.
Get me out of here.
But Preach waits. until Carter can get unloose or the
Mhm.
shark like gets out. And so the shark gets out while Carter like gets unloose, and Preach blows up the shark. Shark is dead. Yay!
Yay!
Carter comes back to what's left of the platform, and Preach asks if he's sure there were only 3 sharks. And he's like, yeah. There's only 3.
I'd be doing the same.
Yeah, and so they're all happy. They lay there right before the crew member for the next shift come. And they're just like waving happily.
Yeah, they're like,
Even though,
hey!
even though there was just a giant explosion, the
Right.
facility is like gone. Like
Yeah.
the facility is gone, and there's only 2 people, and they're just like, "Hi,
Right.
how
The
you
fact
doing?"
the fact that no one could see the smoke and just the destruction
Yeah,
and was like, maybe something's not right.
yeah, they were just like, they're fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
Good vibes, good vibes.
Good vibes.
Okay, Kelly, are you ready for the movie facts?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna save this first one for last because it's my favorite.
Okay. Okay.
Samuel L. Jackson stated that working in the water so much wasn't just unpleasant, it actually led to an accident that made it into the final film. So when they get Stellan Skarsgård, Jim, hooked up to the
Mhm.
helicopter, they were supposed to like go back to the elevator during the storm.
Mhm.
So they got swept towards those cargo bays in the movie by the
Yeah.
water. That was supposed to go ahead of them. It was not supposed to hit them.
Oh no.
And so yeah, they got thrown against those cargo things by like 3 tons of water, and they didn't have any like harnesses on or anything,
Oh
and they
no.
could have fallen into the water. It was all bad, and they
Oh
kept it in the movie.
jeez. Oh my gosh.
Terrible
That
for them.
sucks. Yeah.
um LL Cool J performed the rap song Deepest Blue Shark Fin over the end credits.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the major complaints people had was how the sharks managed to map Aquatica enough to know where they had to herd people to like flood it. There's kind of an explanation, Kelly.
Is there?
Kind Kelly, kind of.
Okay.
Sharks have electroreception, and so they mapped the facility using the electrical impulses they could sense from the wiring and the walls.
What?
I
Excuse me?
Kelly, I told you it kind of makes sense, but
I don't even
mostly
know
it
if it
doesn't.
kind of makes sense.
They
Oh my
use their
gosh.
electroreception, Kelly,
Oh
to
my goodness.
to trace the electricity in the walls. Doesn't that make sense to you?
Of course it does.
These
Why wouldn't it?
underwater animals were able to trace electricity.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, this is one of my favorite ones, and then we'll get to my favorite one.
Okay.
For one scene, Thomas Jane, who played Carter, had to swim
Mhm.
alongside a real life shark. He was only allowed to shoot this scene once he had completed all of his other scenes. They were like, in case you die.
Yeah, yeah. They were like, there may be a possibility, so let's leave that for
Let's
last,
save this for
okay?
last.
We got to make this movie work. We can't
Yeah.
recast you. It's too late.
We've already invested so much money.
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Okay, and then here's my favorite one. This
Okay.
was the first movie Stephen King saw after his nearly fatal encounter with a van. So I guess he got like a car crash or something.
Uh-huh.
He stated, "My first trip after being smacked by a van and almost killed was to this movie. I went in my wheelchair and loved every minute of it." Same, Stephen King. Same.
Relatable.
If I if I if that ever happened to me, the first movie I'd want to see is
Deep Blue
this
Sea.
movie.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay,
That's really
Kelly,
funny.
it's time for the question.
Okay.
Is this movie iconic?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I feel
I said
like
yes, but
really? Well,
I love shark
I
movies.
you're a shark movie fan. Um, I feel like there's with any shark movie, there's like you have to suspend your beliefs about like certain things and how certain things work. But I feel like the fact that they were able to outswim sharks, close doors that were flooded with water, and fight off freaking water, um, it's just a little too much. I think there are better shark movies out there.
I said yes. Love shark
Okay.
movies. This is one of the better ones, like plot wise and everything.
Really? I kind of liked Megalodon.
The Meg.
The Meg, yeah. Sorry, I don't.
I hated that movie.
Did you
I
really?
didn't hate it, but like I don't think it's that good.
I kind of liked it.
And I gave it two chances. I watched it twice. I still was
Okay.
like, this is ridiculous.
Okay.
Like this shark was way too big. I was like, there's absolutely no way.
But I mean, they kind of explain why, and it makes sense. It makes sense to me, kind of.
Okay, Kelly. How that
Oh,
how is shark
Rotten Tomatoes agrees with you. Deep Blue Sea has a 59%, and the Meg has 45.
I told you this is one of the better shark movies. Um
Okay.
yeah, the the Russell gets eaten by a shark scene alone is kind of top tier for me.
Oh.
I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, oh my God.
I mean,
But yeah, Samuel L. Jackson should do more horror movies, quote unquote.
yeah,
He adds a level of fun to them. Do
true.
I would say this is one of my top three shark
Really?
movies. I feel like I feel like my top three are The Shallows.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, you haven't seen that one? The one where Blake
Let me
Lively, is that
hold
her
on.
name? Gets trapped on like that dead.
Did you?
Is it a
Oh yeah.
whale? Is it a I feel like
Oh,
it's a whale.
I saw the trailer for The Shallows.
Yeah, that was a cute little movie. I love that.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Oh, it's
Um
got a good rating.
love 47 meters down. Is that what it's called? Love that movie. And then this
Yeah,
movie.
that sounds correct.
Also this movie has two sequels.
I saw that.
Did not know that.
Mandy Moore's in 47 Meters Down.
Yeah.
Oh dang.
Mandy Moore and that girl from H2O just said water slash
Oh
the
no.
originals. Yeah. I think she's Ima. I think she's Ima.
Ema. It all leads back to
It all
H2O.
leads back to H2O.
Ema.
But yeah, I had to
The
say yes.
condensation.
Love shark movies. I looked up the trailer for Deep Blue Sea 2. It's literally the
Hmm.
same exact movie as this, just worse.
Really?
Yeah, just worse. And then
Claire Holt.
yes, Ima.
Ema.
And then
Sorry.
Deep Blue Sea 3. I
Oh
watched the
gosh.
trailer for that. I think it's a direct sequel of Deep Blue Sea 2. I think Deep Blue Sea 2 is just like a rework of this movie. And then
Okay.
Deep Blue Sea 3 is a direct sequel to Deep Blue Sea 2.
Interesting.
So I feel like this movie doesn't exist in the Deep Blue Sea 2 and 3 world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, iconic for me, not for Kelly. That's fine.
Mm.
What are your recommendations for this week?
So my recommendations this week. I've been doing a lot of rewatching.
Same.
So and like rewatching TV shows and then like comfort movies. So my first
Same.
recommendation is Johnny Depp's not Johnny Depp's freaking Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes, the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
I've been really into like my murder mystery movies right now for some reason. So love the Johnny Depp. I keep seeing Johnny Depp. I'm so freaking tired.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies. They're so good. If you haven't seen the first one, do it. It's so good.
Yeah, they're a fun watch.
Yeah, they're a fun watch. And my second recommendation is a song I found on TikTok. Never Had a Chance. It's a sad song. It's a sad song, I will admit. So if you're not looking for something sad, don't listen to it. But it's a really cute little song. Go give it a listen if you want to be in your feels for a little bit. But yeah, that's me.
Cool. I have two. My first one is a song by Tori Kelly. It's called Value. I think it's on her Solitude EP. Great song. Great song. My second one is another song. It's Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. I finally watched Top Gun.
Danger Zone.
I have notes, but overall it was okay. Overall it was okay. Like, there's one thing in particular that is nagging me, but I'm gonna
I mean, we talked about it.
We talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it.
But whatever. So yeah, now I'm prepared if I choose to go see Top Gun Maverick to see Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
Who knows if I'll even see it though, but like, I'm prepared.
I'm gonna take him to go see that and the Nicolas Cage movie.
I would rather crab walk against the coals of hell naked during a volcanic eruption than go see that movie.
I've heard it got really great reviews. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, go listen to Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. Great song. Also go watch Top Gun. It's on Netflix.
Jordan, it got an 87%.
I don't give a flying fuck.
Pedro Pascal's in it.
I don't care. The only Pedro Pascal thing I watch is The Mandalorian. Yeah, go watch Top Gun if you.
Yeah, Top Gun's a good movie.
If you care, you get to go see Tom Cruise's old teeth.
Oh my gosh, his old teeth.
You get to see a very oiled up volleyball game for some reason.
Woo! Yes.
Oh, okay. You get to see a man die for no reason. Like, great. And then you have an ending that makes no sense, kind of. But good times. Good times all around.
Classic.
Good vibes. Classic. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for this week. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. We have a Twitter and Instagram. They're both at SY2II Podcast. Don't forget to send us your movie stories at our email, sy2iipodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you have any movie requests, send them there. Also, let me know if any of the people in this movie, I'm looking at you, Samuel L. Jackson, want to give us some backstage quips, some knowledge. Send us a t-shirt, a crew shirt, a crew jacket. I know you got a crew jacket. Send me a crew jacket.
I'll also take a dad hat.
Samuel L. Jackson, I know you've been in 200 movies. You don't need this one. Give it to me.
You don't.
Give me the crew jacket.
Yeah. The shark movie fan needs it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will literally cry. And I do not cry.
Yeah, he does not. He's not an emotional person.
I'm not. So please send me that.
Yeah, we need it.
Yes. I will wear it every day.
He'll be buried in it.
I'll be buried in it.
Yeah.
For real.
That's how big this is.
Yes. And then even when the animals come to take over my body, I'll still fight them.
Yeah.
Like literally my bones will curl in on themselves just to wrap around the jacket. I'm
It'll
not
become
letting
a
it go.
protective cage over the
Yes.
jacket.
In a million years, when they're looking back at our society and they dig up my body, all they will find is a deep blue sea jacket
Locked
encased
in
in
a
bones.
yeah.
Not just laying on top of bones, not
No, no,
just
no, 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 no,
on
no, no.
top of the bone, like encased.
Yeah, the bones will come together, they'll fuse, they'll become
Yes.
the greatest protector of this deep blue sea crew jacket.
Yes. 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 It'll be one for the history books. They'll love it.
There'll be a huge documentary
A
on it.
huge documentary. First, they'll have to research what deep blue sea is.
Exactly.
And then they'll have
to find this podcast.
Yes.
They'll have to learn about Jordan.
Yes. It'll be a great time.
It will.
Yeah. So like send me that. Also, don't forget to share us with your friends and your family. Subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. Also, don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Really helps us out. Continue to wear your mask. Continue to get vaccinated, get your boosters. Hurry up, Moderna and Pfizer and all the other ones. Get the babies their vaccines. Thanks. And stay iconic.
Stay iconic, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.